All right, let's talk about a multi-billion-dollar industry in South Korea that is absolutely fundamental to its entire economy: electrical construction. But here's the thing, you can't just jump in. Everything is run by one single, powerful law, and we're going to break down exactly what you need to know to get in the game. So, first things first, to really get why this law matters so much, you have to get a handle on just how massive this industry is. Yeah, this isn't some small-time niche market. We're talking about a huge pillar of the entire country's economy. Just look at this number. Back in 2017, this market was worth more than 27.6 trillion won. Now, what does that even mean? Well, that's about 23 billion US dollars. I mean, that is a staggering amount of money. And guess what? It's only gotten bigger since then. And this chart, this really puts it all into perspective. Okay, so you've got four big construction sectors here, and the one we're talking about, electrical, is right there in red. Sure, general construction is the biggest, no surprise there. But look closer. That 27 trillion won market, it's more than double the next biggest specialized field. That's not just big, that's heavyweight status for sure. So when you have billions of dollars and, public safety on the line, you can bet there are going to be some rules. And in this case, the entire industry is run by one key law, the Electrical Construction Business Act. And its goal is pretty simple, really. It has two main jobs. One, help the industry grow in a healthy way. And two, and this is the big one, make sure everything is built safely and professionally. No cutting corners. Okay, so the opportunity is massive, right? You're probably thinking, how do I get a piece of that pie? Well, it all starts with one thing, a license. And let me be clear, the law is absolutely crystal clear on this. It's not a suggestion, it's the first step you have to take. And I'm not kidding, this is serious. You can't just show up with a toolbox and start working. The law, specifically Article 3, spells it out. Only officially registered contractors can do this work. It's simple. If your name isn't on that list, you're not in the business. End of story. So, how do you get registered? Well, according to Article 4, you have to prove you're legit, and that means meeting four key requirements. Think of them as the four pillars holding up your business. First up, capital. You've got to have at least 150 million won. They want to know you're financially stable. Second, technical know-how. You need at least 3 certified electrical technicians on your payroll. Third, a real physical office space. And fourth, a financial guarantee, usually worth at least a quarter of your capital. You can't skip any of these, you need all 4. But wait, there's more. It's not just about what you have to have. It's also about what you can't have. The law lists a bunch of red flags that will get you disqualified right away. For example, if one of your company directors went bankrupt and hasn't sorted it out, that's a no-go. Or if you had a license before and it got canceled, you're out of luck for a while. It's all about making sure only solid, trustworthy companies get it. All right, so let's say you jumped through all the hoops. You're licensed, you're ready to go. Now, the real fun begins. Because the way you actually win and manage projects in Korea, well, it's pretty unique. And it's probably not like anything you've seen before. Okay, the number one rule you have to wrap your head around is a concept called separate ordering. Article 11 of the law makes this mandatory. So what is it? Basically, a client building, say a skyscraper, can't just give one giant contract to a main construction company and say, figure it out. Nope. They are legally required to sign a separate contract directly with the electrical construction company. And this diagram shows you exactly what I mean. On the left, you see the Korean way, separate ordering. The client has a direct line to the electrical contractor. But on the right, you see the integrated model you might find elsewhere. There, the client talks to the main contractor, who then hires a bunch of subcontractors. It's a totally different structure, and understanding this is absolutely key. So you might be asking, why do they do it this way? What's the point? Well, it's all about creating a better, fair industry. For one, it gives smaller, expert companies a real shot at winning big projects directly. It also means the super important electrical work is done by real specialists, not some company that was hired by another company. And hey, sometimes it even saves money by getting rid of that middleman. And the law doesn't stop there. It really doubles down on making sure people are accountable. Article 14 has a strict ban on something called blanket subcontracting. So let's say your company wins a big contract. You can't just turn around and hand off the entire job to someone else and collect a check. You have to actually be involved. And it also bans re-subcontracting, so a subcontractor can't hire another subcontractor. It keeps the lines of responsibility clear and simple. Okay, so we've talked about the companies. Let's zoom in a bit and talk about the people actually doing the work. Because the law puts a ton of emphasis on the certified technicians. These folks are the real backbone of every single project. And the law could not be more clear about this. It says that all the management, all the oversight of the electrical work, it has to be done by a certified technician. You can't just have some general project manager looking over their shoulder. No, it has to be a specialist, someone who really gets the nitty-gritty details of the job. And we're talking about serious professionals here. They have this whole grading system, from beginner all the way up to special grade. And climbing that ladder is tough. It takes a mix of getting the right national certifications, like craftsman or the elite professional engineer status, and putting in years and years of actual hands-on work in the field. So what's their main job, legally speaking? Well, their number one duty is to be the ultimate guardian of quality and safety on site. They're the ones who have to make sure every single wire, every connection, follows the law, meets the technical specs, and matches the blueprints exactly. Basically, the buck stops with them. They are the last line of defense. So we've got all these rules for companies and rules for the technicians. But what happens if somebody breaks them? Well, let's just say the consequences are significant. The law does not mess around when it comes to safety and doing things by the book. Okay, one of the absolute worst things you can do, according to this law, is to loan out your business license. Your registration, your license, that's your identity. It's tied to your qualifications. You can't just let some other company pretend to be you and work under your name. It's a huge, huge no-no. And the penalty for this isn't just some small fine. We're talking serious consequences. You could face up to a year in prison or a 10 million won fine. But that's not even the worst part. The second you're caught, your business license is canceled immediately, automatically, game over. It is literally a business-ending move. And that same rule applies to the technicians themselves. It's all about personal responsibility. A technician can't just lend their certificate to a buddy. And the penalty? You guessed it. It's exactly the same, up to a year behind bars or a 10 million won fine. That piece of paper with your name on it, it's yours and yours alone. And believe me, there are plenty of other ways to get in trouble. Lying on your paperwork, letting your capital drop too low, not having enough certified techs on staff, or, and this is a big one, working when you're supposed to be suspended. Any of those can get your license yanked for good. So, here's the bottom line. The Korean electrical construction market is a goldmine of opportunity. There's no doubt about it. But the rules of the game are tough, and they're set in stone. And if you don't play by the rules, you're not just risking a fine, you're risking your entire business. So that really leaves us with just one question to think about. With billions of dollars on the table, is your business really, truly ready to play by Korea's incredibly high standards for safety and quality?